Hi everyone, this is Paul Cooper with Totes and Notes, and I'm going to bring you a very short market meltdown this week. It's currently February 10th, 2019, and I'm going to be making some other videos for you this week, and it's going to cover Podio and some other note nuggets, and so that's why this one's going to be a little bit shorter, and there was really only one article that I wanted to discuss, and it's coming from Zero Hedge, and it's titled "More Than Half of Homes in These Zip Codes Are Seriously Underwater." So it's been roughly 11 to 12 years since 2007 market meltdown with the housing market, and there are parts of the country that still haven't recovered very well. So some of the states with the highest shares of mortgages that were seriously underwater include Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, generally the South, where home values were never really that high to begin with, and when they had a drop, they really haven't recovered. Another state, Illinois, not surprising there with Chicago. Iowa, which I thought was kind of weird with Iowa, but again, you don't think of it, you don't hear about people flocking to go live in Iowa. It's also talking about how they did this, and so there was 7,590 zip codes with at least 2,500 properties examined in the report. A total of 27 were more than half of all the properties with a mortgage remained seriously underwater, including zip codes like Chicago, Cleveland, St. Louis, Atlantic City, Virginia Beach, and Detroit. That really shouldn't surprise any of you. All those cities, I see a lot of inventory in the note game. Obviously, I don't mess with Chicago. I'd love to buy in Cleveland, except their city ordinances have changed to where now if you buy a home there and it's not up to code, and the code is really upgraded, they basically want you to completely modernize the home, and that's before you can even sell it. So you can't sell it as is, as a handyman special or anything. You need to drop anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 into it to update some major systems in the home before you can even sell it. So it just doesn't make sense most of the time. You could maybe buy performing stuff there, but non-performing, I don't want the chance of having to get it back and then having to drop 5 figures into the home just so I can turn around and try to sell it and get my money back. St. Louis, I've put a lot of bids in there. Currently haven't got anything. I mean, St. Louis is a pretty rough city, and it has been for several decades. Atlantic City, I'm not going to mess with. I don't mess with the Northeast, Jersey. It's just too much to deal with. Virginia Beach, I just don't see anything. I would bid on there. In Detroit, I'm looking at that pretty hard. The thing that I guess I really shouldn't say scares me, but it gives me a little bit of hesitation about Detroit is I'm just not familiar enough with the market. It is being slowly revitalized. There is a lot of good stuff there. You can make a lot of money there. I just don't have the teams or knowledge in place to start buying there, but I'm really looking into it. I'm reaching out to a lot of professionals in the area. But anyways, here we got this handy little map from Bloomberg. 27 zip codes. Yeah, St. Louis, major. 15,000 homes in Cleveland. Let's see. In one zip code in Trenton, New Jersey, 70% of the homes are seriously underwater. So, yeah, hot markets that are, well, at least hot for buying notes for distressed assets. And here's a little graph if you want to learn more about it. Memphis is up there. That's not too surprising. Memphis can be a good city to invest in. It's just they have a lot of blight. And a lot of crime, so you really have to be careful. Then these other parts in Illinois, in and around Cook County, not surprising, with some of the highest taxes and people fleeing the state. And then, talks about the states here. Meanwhile, the states with the highest share of equity-rich properties, combined estimated loans. Let's see. So we've got California, not surprising because they've had a huge appreciation. Hawaii, New York, Washington, Oregon, all not surprising due to huge appreciation. But what will, I think, surprise some people because they're not paying attention. These states are looking good now, but here's the deal. We're seeing a slowdown in luxury real estate. We're seeing a slowdown in all these markets, especially on the coast. So they're okay now because they've seen so much appreciation in the last 10 years. But what happens when they get the rug pulled out from under them again? Positive equity, that can disappear in a heartbeat, especially in those markets. It's not like these are stable markets that are blue-collar towns where the price is pretty much the same all the time. You're not going to see much appreciation, but you're not going to see much depreciation either. This will change. So will they ever be as underwater as some of these other cities that we saw earlier? I don't know. Maybe not Hawaii But I see a lot of stuff for New York, and I'm starting to see quite a bit for California. Again, I'm not sure I would ever invest in those states just because the laws there make it extremely difficult for you to foreclose if you need to. So it can be really hard to get your money out. But it's just something to watch. And that's it for this week's Market Meltdown. We're just covering the one article. I'll make sure to put the link to the article below the video. That way you can check it out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And thanks for your time.